Hello everyone and welcome to this channel. In today's video, we'll be using the Excel to build a basic model, and also we are going to be looking at how to use the Excel to build a sensitivity analysis. Before we dive in, within 4 minutes you are going to be learning how to build a simple model on Excel, financial model, and also how to use the same Excel to build a sensitivity analysis, or what we call the what if analysis. First and foremost, before we go into Excel proper, let's understand what sensitivity analysis is, right? Every company basically have what you call a budget, right? At the beginning of every year, so to speak, you have budget income, budget revenue, budget cost, and all of that. And then you have a budgeted bottom line, which is the budgeted profit at the end of the year, right? But sometimes the result you get is actually not the same thing as the actual, right? The budgeted is usually not the same thing as the actual, and that's what you call a variance analysis, or what you call a variance in your financial statement. So most times organizations will want to know the impact that any change in these key variables would have on their bottom line. For instance, if I budgeted to make a profit of 200 million naira in a particular year, what happens to that profit of 200 million if one cost element changes, or what if something happens to the revenue? Probably demand I forecasted or forecast is not the same thing as what I'm actually getting. And so I would want to know that if my revenue is not meeting up to the budgeted, what impact would that have on my budgeted profit at the end of the period? And that's basically what sensitivity analysis is used for. And today we'll be using the Excel to build a simple model. Please follow me. Let me put you through on how to build an Excel model. So I have these assumptions here. This is sensitivity analysis, and I've just explained that sensitivity analysis is actually used to check the impact that a change in key variable would have on the budgeted result. From this assumption that I have here, I have quantity sold, and quantity sold here is 2,000. And then you have price per unit. Price per unit is 170. Cost per unit is 70. And then you have your fixed cost, which is rent, and then you have salaries. I want to build a simple profit statement here, and the profit statement is revenue, of course, multiply the quantity by the selling price. All right, and the cost also, cost of sales, the cost multiplied by the quantity, and then if you net this off, you get gross profit, which is 200,000, and then you have rent and salary, and then operating profit is $118,000. What does this mean? It means that at the beginning of the year, I've budgeted to make an operating profit of $118,000. Now, the problem here is that all these assumptions, what happens if they don't hold, right? If quantity sold is not the same thing as 2,000, what happens if the prices change, or what happens if costs of production also change, or what happens if rent is going to be changing? What impact will this have on my expected outcome, which is the operating profit? Now, let's quickly build a simple model on how to do that, because you know very well that when price increases, right, quantity demanded would definitely reduce, and when price reduces, quantity demanded would go up. So most times it becomes a big task for an organization to know at what level their revenue should be, at what level their cost should be, or at what level they should put their quantity to be produced and sold and all of that to give them the maximum profit. And that's what this sensitivity analysis is going to be helping us to do. All right, so from here, this is my Excel. I've just explained the model. Here, first and foremost, we have our quantity sold. One is the quantity sold I have now is 2,000. And so I want to assume what if quantity sold increases to 2,500, or what if increases to 3,000, or better still, increase to 4,000. And also here, I can also assume that quantity sold is not up to 2,000, let's say 1,500, and then quantity sold again 1,000. And then if you come to the price that we have currently is 170. So I could just put that at the middle here. That's the current price that we have. I could assume that what if I increase this price, say to 200, or I increase it to say to 230, or I increase it to say 250. I could as well say that this price is going down. Let's say the price is now 150, or the price is 120, or the price is now 100. What is the next thing to do? I need to model this to get the impact of changes in these prices, the impact that it will have on the quantity demanded, and also the overall result. And you would like to link this overall result here to the 118,000, which is what we are actually looking at. So now highlight everything, the data range, highlight everything, and then you go to your data tab, and then go to what if analysis, right? The what if analysis, you see three things here. You have scenario manager, you have goal seek, and then you have the data table. I will select the data table. Then you see a prompt to put row input. My row input, I have the quantity, and again I will link that to my assumption, and then I come down here and then click OK. Yes, model is ready. What's happening here is that, look at, my original budget is to make $118,000, all right, at this price. You can see this 118 in between here, all right, showing our current level. If I move further to produce 2,500, assuming that every other thing remains constant, I'll be making 168, 218, 318, like that. And also, if you increase the price, look at what is happening here. Quantity demanded, if you reduce this to 1,000, you'll be making 98, you'll be making 188, 278, and like that. Now, what this model has actually helped me to do is to understand the impact that any of these changes, these prices, would have on my total revenue. And with this, you are able to know, to properly plan your financials, to know exactly what range your price should be, or what range your quantity supply should also be. After this, we'll be doing class on GoSeek. Please watch out for this channel. If this is your first time joining us, please try and subscribe to support our channel. Thank you for watching, and see you again in the next video. Bye bye.